Hi, my name is Holly. Welcome to week 2 of your Summer Sun Superband Challenge. You're going to need a set of Superbands. The link is in the description below. And maybe a set of some weights if you'd like to progress some exercises. Let's go ahead and get started with the warm-up. We're just going to start by marching in place, getting that blood flowing through our body today. You move those hands, those knees nice and high. We're going to do right into a step and tap here next. In 3, 2, and 1. So a nice step across the body, press and reach. So I want you to think about getting low with your legs and reaching across the body. Down and up. Inhale down, exhale to reach. Low and high. Reaching, stretching out the back side of your body. We're going to take this up overhead next. In 3, 2, and last one, reach overhead, stretch. Think about reaching and elongating through the sides of your body. Press it. Low and high. Good, last 4, 3, 2, and last one, let's come center. Inhale up, exhale, sweeping the hands alongside the body. From the side, looks like this. You rise onto the balls of your feet for a little extra balance challenge, down and up. Lift and lower. Last 2. And last one, come up nice and tall. Take your left foot over your right. Take a nice big stretch down. Inhale to lift, side 2, right foot over left. Nice big stretch. One more time each side, big lift up, left foot over right, big stretch down. And inhale to lift, side 2. We're going to do a little single leg hamstring stretch and hip hinge next. So from the side, just want you to take one foot out, take your right foot out, and then just going to sit your booty back, kind of like you're reaching to pick up something off the ground and stretch. So your booty goes back, and you're lifting up. So moving through the shoulders, hinging through the hips, you should feel a nice stretch on the leg that's forward. Good. Last 2. And last 1. And then switch, take that left foot out to the side. So back is nice and straight, hinging your hips back, stretching through the back of the leg. Inhale down, exhale like you're scooping up some water. Inhale down, exhale to scoop. Those back muscles warm. Stretching out the back of your body. Last 2. And last 1. Just do a little bit of twisting side to side. Let your heels lift. Let your hips move. Rotating through the rib cage. We're going to get right into our circuits today. So the first set is going to be squats, push-ups, reverse lunges, and some bent over rows today. If you want to progress these, feel free to grab a weight. I'm going to start with the most friendly version now, which is to have your Superband attached. It can be wrapped through, it can be doubled over, just as much assistance as you would like. So we're going to do squats first. I want you to have your feet shoulder distance apart, toes turned slightly out, and we're inhaling to go down nice and slow. Exhale to lift up. Inhaling down, exhale to lift. So I want you to try to get your booty a little bit lower than your knees. So you're using that band to get the full depth. Now you can always modify and make your squats smaller, but I would rather you use the band to help yourself get a little bit lower than you might normally go for your squats. If you need to make it more friendly, choke up on the band and lift. Good. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Good, nice and slow. Inhaling down, making sure you're not butt winking at the bottom. So keeping your spine nice and neutral, almost there. We're gonna go nice and quick through these exercises for the circuit, and then we're gonna get a break. Going right into your favorite version of push-ups, I'm gonna do modified today in 3, 2, and last one. So bring it all the way down to the floor, modified push-ups. Look like this, knees down. Hands are slightly wider than shoulder distance apart. We're inhaling to bring our chest between our hands. exhaling to press up. Inhaling down, exhale to press. Keeping your neck nice and long, so that chin's pulled in slightly. Make sure you're not retracting the scapula on your way down, which means you're not doing this. Good, keep moving as I'm talking. Inhale down, exhale up. I would rather see you go just 1 inch down with really good form than losing all of your shoulder stability. So, doing the best you can here. A way to progress this is to lower down with your knees lifted. Put your knees down to push up. Right, so lower, tap, knees to come down, and press. Almost there. So find whatever level is gonna work for you. You can modify by doing these on an elevated surface as well, like a countertop. Almost there. Last 3, 2, and last one. Take a little down dog stretch here. Right into our reverse lunges, so grabbing onto your band as a more friendly option. We're gonna have a little hinge forward through the hips. So here we go. Alternating lunges, we're stepping backwards. So that band is here for support. As always, your modifier is just not to go down as far, right? The goal is to go and touch the knee all the way to the ground. So your chest is leaning slightly over the leg. Knees are going directly out over your toes. Good, nice control. Down and lift. Breathe in through your nose. Exhale like you're blowing out through a straw. Good, we're almost there. Bent over rows is next. Good, stay with me here. You might need a heavier band. Black or purple is probably going to be a good choice. I'm going to show you a modifier as well. Almost there. Nice tap and lift. Tap and lift. Last 3, 2, and make sure you're even on both legs. I've got one more to be even. Perfect. I'm going to start with the black band today, a little more friendly. Most friendly would be to sit down on the ground, like so. Here, band around your feet, pulling and squeezing. Bending your knees a little bit nicer on the low back. Let's just do these ones for the first round. So sitting with the band around your feet, we can add on for the second set. Inhale forward, exhale to pull. Make sure you take that little pause and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Slowly come forward. You want to also start with some tension on the band. You can see that I'm choked up on my band, so there's tension when I start. Squeeze and forward. Squeeze. If you wanted to progress this, you could bring this to standing. Standing on the band, nice straight back, pull and squeeze. Now if you find that's a little bit too much on your back side of your body, feel free to have a seat. Good. Squeeze and pull. Inhale back. Almost there. Squeeze and pull. Last little bit. If you're in this position, make sure you're not rounding your back. Good. Last 2. And last one, squeeze. All right. Well-deserved water break. Go ahead and grab a sip. You can keep walking around your room as we're going here. Just 1 minute break in between sets. If you want to progress this next round, feel free to grab a set of weights instead of using your band, or don't use the band. Just go without any assistance, and that should be a little bit more challenging for you as well. So I'll show the second level progression. No band, just reverse lunges with as much depth as we can get. Sorry, we're squats. The squats. And I'm going to show you this from the front angle so you can see what my knees and toes are doing here. So if you want to get deeper into the squats and you can't quite get there yet, make sure you keep using your band. If you're up for a little extra challenge, see if you can get the same depth without the help. All right, we're going in 3, 2, 1. Feet are a little wider than shoulder distance. Knees are turned out. We're dropping down and lifting, right? So inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Knees are going out over the toes and up. I'm going to show you again from the side so you can see what my back side is doing. I'm getting lower than my knees and then lifting up. Inhale down, exhale to lift. Make sure you're not bending too far forward. All right, you want your chest nice and proud, and then squeeze back up again. Down and lift right into whatever version of push-ups you would like next. Last two. And last one. Take it on down. You can do a countertop, floor, or modified, your choice. Let's go. Inhale down, exhale to lift. Nice big breath in through the nose. Exhale like you're blowing out through a straw. You could also progress this by just putting your hands on some dumbbells and going a little lower than where the floor would be. So that's another way to make modified push-ups a little bit harder without having to get up onto the knees or off of the knees. Good, so those reverse lunges are on deck again. Feel free to use your Superband for stability. If you want to add weights, go for it. Exhale up. Nice long neck. Looking down at the ground. Keep your core active. Make sure you're not letting your hips sag like this. They're not too far behind you. Almost there. Last two. And one more good push-up. Inhale down. Exhale to press. Good, so find your most challenging reverse lunge. So a way to keep going is just to use your band. I'm going to do it without the band this round. Here we go, right into it. Inhale down, exhale to lift. So now I'm doing this unsupported, right? Using that Superband is supported, harder without the band. Most challenging, grab any set of dumbbells and see what you can do for about 60 seconds. Good, knees are tracking over the toes. There's a little hinge forward from your hips to really target your glutes. Modifying is just not going quite as deep. Good, big breath in through your nose. Exhale like you're blowing out through a straw. And lift. Down and lift, doing great. Breathe with me. Doesn't have to be fast. We've got our bent over rows next. Doing it seated or in the bent over position. I think I'm gonna do it seated this time. Good. Last little bit. Last two. And last one. Nice job. Finding the band that's gonna be the most challenging for you. Got about a minute to go here. Band around the feet. Legs can be straight or bent. Most important that your spine is straight. We're pulling and squeezing. So exhale to pull. Inhale in. Exhale, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Inhale forward. Exhale, squeeze. And release. Exhale, squeeze those shoulder blades slowly back. You can go a little bit faster on the pull. Just make sure you go slow on the way back. To make this easier as you go, just give yourself a little bit more tension or less tension in the band. To make it harder, just choke up on the band more. So we're past that halfway point. Exhale to squeeze. Inhale, release. Perfect. Home stretch here, then we get another minute break. Squeeze and release. Squeeze, almost there. Keep those ribs knit together nice and tight. Less than 10 seconds. You can do it. Right here with you. Last two. Shoulders stay away from your ears. And last one, squeeze and release. All right, here's our minute break. All right, how are we feeling out there? Are we ready for set B? That was our first circuit. We're gonna do our next circuit 2 times through. This time we're gonna do some glute bridges, marches with the band. So again, wrapping that band 1, 2, or 3 times. If you have a different band that you'd like to use for this, that's totally fine too. Let's see. I also have these fabric style bands. If you have, these fabric bands or some mini bands, feel free to use those too. I'm gonna use the red band first time through here. All right. So here we go. Set B, circuit B, glute bridge with the band. We'll be on the backs. We're pressing the hips to the sky up here. And we're just marching those legs nice and slow. Squeeze and lift. So you can make this more friendly by not using the bands at all. Making sure your butt is not dropping down. Your ribs are pulled in together, nice and tight. Exhale, squeeze. Slowly back down. Squeeze and lower. Think about keeping your pelvis scooped. Keeping it scooped. Should feel like connection right to the back side where your booty and your hamstrings meet. Squeeze and lift. Hands up would make your base and support smaller, so this would be a progression. Nice and slow and controlled, keeping those hips level at the top and the bottom. Last little bit here, we're gonna go right into a shoulder press next. I'm gonna try that black band today, which last week was a little heavy for me, so if you wanna use the red one, that might be a more friendly option. And last one, hold, and then peel everything down nice and slow. So again, this red band would be probably the most friendly option. Black band's gonna be a little heavier. So we're stepping on that band. All right, I'm gonna psych myself up because I know this is pretty heavy. So here we are, we're grabbing with our thumbs. Elbows are slightly forward, exhale to press. Inhale down, exhale to press. Good. As you're going, make sure you're not scrunching the shoulders up to your ears. They're back and down, you're resisting on the way up and on the way down. So big press up, elbows are slightly forward. Let me turn to the sides, you can see what that looks like. Elbows are slightly forward. Good, the nice thing about the band is it helps them stay forward. Big press, inhale down. Exhale, lift, doing great. This was near my maximum last week. I'm already starting to feel it, like I might need to drop to the red band. I'm gonna try just a couple more slow reps, best I can. Good, less than 10 seconds. Good. This is my last one. If you can keep going, you've got about 5 more seconds left. You can do it. 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Next exercise, we don't need any band for this exercise. We're going right into dead bugs. So on your back, palms are facing in, legs are at 90. We're taking our right arm overhead and left leg down, and then center. Left arm, right leg, and center. So the goal here is not to let there be any space under your back. So make sure your ribs stay knit together. And then if your arm goes too far, sometimes the ribs pop. So just don't bring the arm as far back over your head. Try not to move the opposite arm and leg. I know it's hard to do, or not to do, I should say. Good, perfect. Slow, controlled movement. Right arm, left leg. This is working our deep core. Working our deep core here. And center. Reach and center. Nice and slow. Almost there. Keep that knee at 90 degrees. Modifiers, not to go quite as far, just go smaller. Last 2. And last one. And center. Rock and roll on your spine. See if you can come up to standing without using your hands. I'm gonna grab the red band for our band pull aparts to finish out this little circuit here. So you're in charge of the tension. The closer you are together, the harder it's gonna be. The farther out you go, the easier it's gonna be. So we're squeezing, inhale forward, exhale to squeeze. Now, the challenge here is not to let your shoulders hunch up to your ears. So keep those shoulders pulled back and down. And as always, just keep moving as I'm talking. I'm gonna show you this from the side. I'm pulling that band to my chest. Inhale forward, exhale to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale forward. Try to keep your wrists nice and long. Exhale to pull it in. Nice, strong base of support. Little bend in your knees is good. Again, from the side, make sure you're not doing this with your spine. So the ribs stay pulled in together so you're not opening and closing the chest. Inhale forward, exhale to squeeze. Shoulder blades squeeze together. Last little bit here. Squeeze and pull. We're gonna get a minute break and then we're gonna start that circuit all over again. Last two. Good, and last squeeze and release. Nice job. If you wanna try a different band, maybe try a fabric band or a mini band for these glute bridges. Go ahead and grab some water again. I know we're working up a nice little sweat. Keep it up, keep up the good work. I'm right here with you guys. You can make your way down here, trying a different band. See how it feels. This one feels kind of heavy, I'm not gonna lie. We'll see how we can do. So we're gonna come all the way down onto our back, doing that glute bridge with the marches, keeping that tension out to the sides. I want you to go really nice and slow to peel those hips up. So take an inhale to prepare here. On your exhale, slowly peel the hips up one vertebrae at a time. Hands by your side, and we're going right into those glute bridges, marches. So lifting, alternating heels, squeeze and lift, squeeze and lift. Now with that heavier band, this is definitely gonna be harder everywhere. Make sure you're keeping your feet in that nice hip distance apart. I'll show you from the front, like this. So they're not too wide or too narrow. Good, keep going here, and we're lifting. Booty staying up nice and high, squeeze and breathe. Again, fingertips to the sky is going to make this more challenging. Squeeze and lift. Squeeze and lift, trying not to let those booties drop. Keep them up nice and high, you can do it. Good tension on the band, and release. Squeeze and release. We're going to those shoulder presses next. I think I'm actually gonna drop down to that red band today because that dark, my black band felt a little bit too heavy for what we're doing right now. And last two, and last one. I want you to go really slow, peel back down, peel, peel, peel. And then slowly take that band off. And you could also use hand weights for the shoulder press. Let's say neither of the bands feels like maybe they feel too hard or they feel too easy, so I could easily go and grab some 15-pound weights or maybe some 20-pound weights, but I'm just gonna go with this red band today. Okay, so stepping on your band, right into it. Elbows are facing forward, exhaling to press. Inhale down, exhale to press. Shoulders stay away from the ears. Yeah, I take it back, that's just too easy. Don't be scared to change your bands around. Okay, here we go, keep going. I'm still timing. Inhale down, exhale, press. Good, nice control, squeeze. Big breath in through your nose. Exhale like you're blowing out through a straw. Maybe a soft little bend in your knees. Good, we're past halfway already. See if you can keep those ribs pulled in nice and tight. Inhale down, exhale to press, you can do it. Right here with you, squeeze, inhale down, exhale it up. Come on, let's go. Whew. I might need to stop before the 60 seconds is up. You can keep going, I'll tell you when to stop. Good, last 3, 2, this is progressive overload right here. Last one. And take a little breather, good. Right into our dead bugs, no band needed. Back onto our backs, fingertips to the sky. Tapping right arm, left leg. Left arm, right leg. Try not to like scissor your arms like this. Try to keep the opposite arm and leg totally still. Ribs are melting into the ground, into your mat. Squeeze and center. Right here, this space should stay nice and tight. Range of motion's your modifier, so just make it smaller to make it more friendly. You could add hand weights to your hands to progress this exercise, would be a totally fine idea. Reach. Last little bit here, and center. Reach and center. Focusing on your breathing. Good, last 2. And one more each side, make sure you're even, and center. Hug those knees into your chest. I'm gonna finish with our band pull-aparts. Last exercise in this circuit. Can you come to standing without using your hands, right? So you can rock and roll all the way up. Okay, right into those band pull-aparts. Exhale, we're squeezing together. Inhale forward, exhale, squeeze. So think about the spot right between your shoulder blades is helping this band move. We're squeezing, bringing the band to our chest. Again, the closer you bring your hands together to start, the harder this will be, okay? You also have that orange band that's gonna be a little bit lighter if you need it, or just use one of the bands like this instead of holding on to both of them, okay? That's another way to make things a little more friendly. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. You got this. Squeeze. Last exercise in this last circuit, we're going to do a little ab burnout to finish. Squeeze, you're almost there. Pull. Inhale in. Exhale, squeeze. Less than 10 seconds. You can do it. Squeeze and breathe. Good. Last 3. You can do it. 2. And last one. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And release. Go ahead and grab yourself some water. All right, are we ready for this little core burnout? We're gonna try some anti-rotation this week since we did rotation last week. So finding a nice, I'm gonna try the red band today with this one. We're doing some paddle off presses. You're gonna want this to be about sternum height. So the goal of this exercise is not to let your body twist. So last week we did the twisting. This week, I want you to have a nice wide base of support. Bring your hands right to your sternum height, and we're gonna pull in and press straight out. So the goal here is not to let yourself be pulled back towards that door frame. Okay, so you can make this harder by stepping farther out or choking up on the band. Good, nice and slow. Out and in. You can also make this harder by going up and down and in. So those are ways to progress it. Otherwise, you can just stay right here going out and in from the center. Maybe try one up overhead, in and back, almost there. We're gonna switch to the other side next. Right into it. Last 3, 2. Can you do 2 more presses all the way out and in? Press and in, and then turn it right around, right where you're at. Same thing, no break. Here we go. Nice control, pressing out and in. Breathing in through your nose, exhale like you're blowing out through a straw. Feel free to add the progression of reaching your arms overhead. Remember, you're not letting your body turn towards the direction of the band. We're staying nice and centered, hands right at the sternum level. Let me go another one up, in, perfect, you can do it. Out, up, in, and back, last little bit, up, in and back. Here we go. Let's do back to center, just a couple more out and in from the center. No raises, last 2. And last one. Nice job. Taking this all the way to the floor, right into it. We've got a 45-second forearm plank. Ready, go, no break. There you go. Now, you can modify knees down. We want to make sure your back's not arching, and we want to make sure you're not sinking into the shoulders. So push up away from the floor, scoop your pelvis, try to keep that nice strong core connection here. If you want to make things harder and easier or a little bit more challenging, you can walk your hands up and down, right? You could inch forward and back. You could lift one leg at a time, right? Modifier, knees down. Good. And I talk so much, it's almost over. Breathe and squeeze. Breathe and squeeze, you can do it. Stay nice and low. Let's just do it. Big breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Good, last 5. You can do it. 4. Breathe with me. 3, 2. And last one, take a nice little child's pose. We're gonna do one forearm plank on the side each time to finish everything out. So we're gonna do 30 seconds each side. Minimal break here, let's get right to it. Remember, your modifier is knees down. It's only 30 seconds if you can. Lift those knees up. Top foot in front feels a little bit nicer, or just have them totally stacked. Lift through that bottom waist. Shoulder directly over your elbow. Other hand can be to the sky. Already halfway there. We're just gonna thread the needle and slide to the other side to finish. Good. I'm shaking a little bit. It's normal. Lift, 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 and squeeze. Hold those hips up. Last 3, 2, right into it. Side 2. Slide it over. Hips stack, shoulders stack. Hold. Remember, knees down is your modifier. Think about lifting through that bottom waist. Nice strong forearm plank here. Squeeze. Top leg to come forward as another option here. So close. Less than 10 seconds. Squeeze and hold. 3, 2, and last one. Bring it center. Take a nice child's pose again. Hips to heels. And then from here, find a nice downward facing dog stretch. Hips to the sky. And go ahead and pedal over heels. Bend one knee. Lower the opposite heel down. Right leg reaches up, 3-legged dog. Move it to the outside of your hand. If you need to, just grab your foot, bring it forward. Runner's lunge. If it's available, right hand to the sky. And then switch side 2. Left leg up, big stretch here. Open the hip. Sweep that left leg forward, outside of the left hand. Runner's lunge. Runner's lunge twist, take the left hand to the sky, nice big stretch here. Fingers stacked over shoulders to fingers. One more deep inhale. And then press it back to downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and walk our feet forward towards our hands. Have a seat. Come all the way down onto your back. Pull the knees to your chest. Go ahead and take your right foot over the left leg. Grab the back of the left leg. Pull the left knee into your chest. You draw nice little circles with your low back. You should feel this in the side of your booty. And then go ahead and switch. Left foot over right. Grab the back of the right leg. Pull that knee to your chest and you hug it in and out. And then we're gonna go right into a nice spinal twist today. So keep that right knee into your chest, straighten the left leg out. Take that knee across the side of your body. Gaze over your right fingertips. Try to keep your shoulder blades on the mat. Nice big breath. One more deep inhale. And exhale. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Pull the left knee in, send the right leg out. Take it across. Side of your body, gaze over your left fingertips. Maybe try to stack that hip underneath. Make sure you keep your shoulders on the mat. One more deep inhale. And let's do that one more time each side. So come back to center, left leg straight, right knee in. Take it across the left side. Tuck your left hip under the right. Keep your shoulder blades on the mat. Gaze over your right fingertips. Using your left hand on your right knee. And go ahead and switch last time. Straighten the right leg, pull the left knee in. Take it across the right side of your body. Tuck that hip underneath. Gaze over your left fingertips. And one more deep inhale. And exhale back to center. Let's take a nice little happy baby stretch here. Rock it side to side. I like elbows to knees. You can grab your toes or your ankles. And just stretch here. And then let's just rock and roll our way all the way up to standing. Again, any way you can. Lift out your hands. We're gonna do one roll down all together. So take a nice big inhale to the sky. On your exhale, bring your chin to your chest, roll it down. Upper back, middle back, and a nice stretch through the back of your body. Let the head and neck relax down. Maybe dangle the arms. Nod your head yes, take it no. And then we're going to slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. So lower back, middle back. Right head is the last thing to come back up. Take a nice big stretch to the sky. Big inhale here. And exhale. And you are all finished. Thank you so much for doing Summer Sun Week 2 Superband Challenge. Hope you enjoyed this workout. I would love for you to subscribe to the channel, comment below, give it a thumbs up, share with your friends. That really helps me get more reach. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. If you have any questions, also leave those in the comments below. Links to the banner below, as well as to work with me one-on-one for coaching. All those links are in the description, and I will see you in the next one.